So if you've seen any of these before, you will know what my feelings are about guitar in a box. And you see, the thing is it's got that word on it, hasn't it? And so that makes it instant. But you know, love it or hate it, it is what it is. And that is what makes these worth something and worth having a look at, to be fair. So we had a look at that signature one, didn't we, last week, that we've not yet reviewed. So what did we get with these? This one, as you can see, seems to have the whole kit and caboodle. We get to see an empty piece of cardboard, some packing material. What's this? Oh, it's just cardboard that screws up, isn't it? There's an amp in here by the looks of things. Yeah, amplifier. It's not. You're not going to get excited about that, to be fair. Let's have a look at the main event. Alright, so if you are brand new and starting out, then you do get, and I see it's a Les Paul Junior, isn't it? That's what you've got. It's a Les Paul Junior. It's a nice shiny black, actually that's in really good nick. Put a solid tape on it. Ooh, that is not, that looks new. Happy days. Not much going on with that one. Apart from, of course, as expected, the string height is a mile away. Right, let's have a look at that. So the string height on the high E is about 1.75, which is less bad than I thought it would be. It's too high on the bottom, it's about 3. It's even in tune. Well, my initial impressions are probably slightly better than they were with the signature. This seems to be not bad at all. So let's see if we can. Oh right, it's really choking or buzzing. Not something European, which is the one place where you shouldn't have it. And again, if you have a look at the side of this, if you remember on that signature, I had to put a shim in the back, which is an unusual place. So in this area of the neck pocket, to bring the neck forward, because of, well, largely the same difficulty. Right, let's just try dropping it first and see what happens. So, there's the stick of ugliness. So I'll have that down a tad. And that down, I'll have that down 2.5 tads. But I will bet you that we're going to be choking all over the place. So, where are we on the high E now? Yeah, well you see it says 1. It doesn't look 1. And of course things change as you get up to the top. Yeah, we might be, we're grinding out on the pickup, that's kind of good. Let's have that down. we're no longer. Okay, so right. Just before, I'm saying right without explaining anything. So, if you want the, actually, it can come up a little bit. So if you want the, you see, they're always going to be a compromise, these. So there's your string height at 1.25, which is a sort of accepted norm. So obviously we've got a too high fret there. We can try and get the frets down, but I rather suspect that shimming is going to be the order of the day. Right, let's have a look at it. So, if I look at the neck straightness, have I talked to you about neck straightness recently? I can't remember. So we'll get the fret rocker out and see what that's like. So, neck straightness. So, what we're looking for with neck straightness is you get a notched edge out and you're looking for a bit of a gap in the halfway point. So your string is suspended between these 2 points, isn't it? Your string is suspended, because you can't see the other points now. So a string is suspended between the bridge and the nut, and the exact halfway point is at the 12th fret. I won't go into Pythagoras at the moment, although I should do really, but anyway. So the point is that you have a bit of relief in the neck because strings, they don't vibrate, they oscillate. In other words, they move in a circular motion like this when they're plucked. And so they will be at their greatest oscillation amplitude, if you like, when they're roughly in the centre of the neck. So, you know, between here and here is where they're going to make that motion more than any other. And so we'd like to have a bit of neck relief to give them a bit more room to wobble about in. And that's all well and good on an open string. But as soon as you put your fingers on any of the frets here, then you've now altered the distance that the string is anchored at from between the nut and the bridge to whichever fret you're pressing down on and the bridge. So now your middle bit's here, which rather makes that centre area that you were originally looking at sort of irrelevant. And the bottom line is if your guitar plays well, it plays well, and the neck, any neck relief that can be seen or not seen is in many ways irrelevant. Right, rant over, let's have a look at fret leveliness. And because I suspect that it won't be, none of them have been. This is right. Okay, so there's a massive wobble on that. Can you see that rocking about? So a fret rocker covers, or spans, I should say, that's horrible, spans 3 frets, and you give it a gentle rock from side to side. If it rocks, it means that you've got a proud fret. That's stable. That's terrible. So you keep moving, so as the frets become further apart, then you need to use one of the different edges. That's terrible. That is really awful. That's okay. No. That's okay. That's okay. It's, you know, this is the signature was the same. It was just the top half that was. Oh no, that's really bad. So it looks like this is going to be a similar story. That's bad. I might as well just do the lot. I'll show you the first. Oh, there you go. Just do that one. It's easy. So I'll show you my the first pass, and it's a shame about the strings. They look new. And we've still got the plasticky bit on the truss rod cover here. So, right, we'll have some new strings on it anyway. Although will I keep these on? No, I'll keep these on until have done the work. Right, let's get the strings released. So I've slapped the strings off, and what I'm going to use is one of these little string spreaders. They're at, China, a couple of quid. And I will tell you the story behind this, because like most guitars, they've got a tale to tell. And this one belonged to a teenage girl who was staying away in Devon, I think. It came from not far from Blackpool. And she was staying away in Devon, I think it was, for Christmas with family. And this had been ordered for her main Christmas present. On Christmas Eve, it hadn't arrived. Not this Christmas, I think it was the one before, or maybe even the one before that. It hadn't arrived, and so she was Christmas presentless. So parents' relatives, went chasing out to the shops and found, I think they got her a Squire Strat. And she got used to the Squire Strat, and to be perfectly honest, the story goes that the Squire Strat absolutely beat this hands down. I mean, these things are personal, and so she wanted to not own this, and she wanted to keep the Squire. So what I'm going to do is, this will make a click-clack sound, or certainly should do, and I'll keep doing this until it stops going click-clack. And I'll come back to you when the boring bit is over. Right, so that's reasonably in tune, and let's have a click here. That's reasonably in tune, and let's have a quick. Well, that's right. We had that 1, 2, 5, didn't we? So now that won't sound scratchy because I've not polished the frets. The tuners feel really this guitar hasn't been played. And the strings are brand new. Do you know what? That plays rather nicely. Okay, so slacking the strings off, let's take some measurements. So at the first fret, the neck thickness reads here 21.9, and on this one it reads 20.9. So this one's a mil thicker, and that's weird because it doesn't feel it at all. So about the 12th. Can we say the 12th? Down a bit. So the 12th. Let's spread those out. At the 12th. 23.4, I think it's fair to say. And on this one, 22.8. So that really surprises me. That's a thicker neck. What about width? What about the girth? Let's just whip those back in. So, let's be that way. Let's reset that. So the width on that comes in at 43.3, and the width on this, on the strings, Way the width on this 43, and that really is weird, because that, I mean, even looking at them, the neck looks chunkier. Oh well, you know, what can't speak can't lie. Do you know what? Let's have a look here. That looks remarkably like an Epiphone item. Interesting. Right, so let's get that measured. Well, this is quite nice. I've just measured it, and I shall show you. It's weighing in at a really beautifully healthy 12.29 on the Richter scale, which is way better than I expected. So this should theoretically plays better than I thought it would, and it's more powerful than I thought it would be. So let's get it buttoned up. Well, bless my soul. I have to say that's come in as quite a surprise. Yes, feels great. Yeah, I've got to tell you, this, I would say out of the three, we did an Epoch a while back. We've just recently done the Signature, and now the Maestro, and I would say that this is probably the pick of the crop. But of course, we're not getting the full review yet, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. That, you know, I mean, obviously it's all done on the cheap. And whilst the tuners are, you know, pretty standard, inexpensive items, they're nice and tight and they work very well indeed. We've got a scarf joint on the maple neck here, and although I'm fairly sure that the fretboard won't be ebony, it looks like ebony, and therefore I love it for that. Nice flat profile. It does look like a Junior, and very probably, if this was mine and if I was going to keep it, you can buy a vinyl overlay for about 20 quid or so that would very neatly say Gibson Les Paul Junior, which is effectively what it is. What does surprise me, although it says, of course, by Gibson on the truss rod cover, doesn't say it on the neck plate. Oh well, as long as it's got it somewhere, I suppose that's the main thing. And with that said, I shall thank you for tuning in, as always, and I'll bid you a fond farewell. And I shall look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Adios, amigos. Ta-ra.